We're here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park to find out whether or not you can turn this Nissan Micra with a 1.6 litre engine and 109 horsepower into Canada's least expensive race car. Let's go find out. So the answer to the question is yes, you can turn Canada's least expensive car on the road into Canada's least expensive car on the racetrack. And this car is part of the Nissan Micra Cup, which started in 2015, which was its inaugural season. And it's now into its 4th race season, and they get great turnouts for every race. A couple of dozen of these identically prepared cars out on the racetrack, battling it out head to head. And the cars are all identically prepared. The only difference is the teams are able to adjust the suspension a little bit. They're not allowed to touch the engines. These cars all have more or less 109 horsepower, slightly more than the road car because they have a free flow exhaust and slightly different air intakes to give it just a little bit more horsepower and torque, but only a couple. You've got the standard 5-speed manual transmission, which comes on the road car, and the standard engine, which comes on the road car. But obviously the interior has been completely race prepped. You've got fire extinguisher systems, you've got a full-on roll cage, racing steering wheel, racing seats, all the carpets have been taken out. This is the show car, so it happens to have a passenger seat. The race cars don't. So as much weight reduction as possible to allow the 109 horsepower engine to motivate as little weight as possible, and lowering the center of gravity makes these cars much racier. So let's get out into the paddock, talk to some of the drivers, and let's see these things out on the track.
I love this track. It's the best track I ever do. It's so fast, it's so it's extreme. You have to, it doesn't see the corner. It's blind spot all the time. So it's gas on and expect good things. I love this track. I'm very glad to be in this series. Even if it's not the most powerful car, it's a very good series. They have a lot of skillful driving.
It's exhilarating. It's really, really a lot of fun racing. It's been the first time that I've raced actually, like in the Nissan Micra series. I think it's great. If somebody wants to go racing, this is a great entry level, and it's great to learn the car handling. And because it's so competitive, your driver ability is really important and stands out then.
So that's the Nissan Micra Cup series. It's a great series. We're so glad that Nissan is doing this again. The initial run was for 3 years and they've extended it for another 3 years, so they're into the 4th of the 6 years. So it's a great series, extremely competitive, the most cost-effective sanctioned series in Canada, and a great opportunity for race car drivers to go out racing. So that's what it's like to take a Nissan Micra out onto the racetrack. You can't buy one of the road cars and convert it into a race car. You have to buy the race car. But when you consider that you can buy a road car for $10,000 or you can buy a race car prepped and ready to hit the track for under $25,000 is, as Nissan says, the most cost-effective form of a spec sanctioned race series that you can participate in. So it's a really great opportunity for young drivers who want to get into racing, or for older gentlemen drivers who are at the stage in their life where they've got the time and energy and resources to be able to go racing. This can be done quite cost effectively. In fact, more so than any other spec racing series. So it's a great opportunity for motorsports enthusiasts to not only take your Micra to the racetrack and see the Micras out on the track, but at some point even potentially get into a race car and get out onto one of these tracks and experience what it's like to race in a spec racing series. So thanks for tuning in, drive safely, and we'll see you soon.